Welcome to Mahogany Kisses 85 channel, where the horror gets overanalyzed respectfully. And today we're going to do something different. I know you guys are used to doing, seeing my shorts and my gaming channels and stuff like that. I'm going to do something different, which is a movie review. And I'm going to do it of Scream 7. And it's my first one, so please bear with me and be supportive. Well, I must say I was entertained, but yet I was suspicious. I was a bit stressed out in the first 20 minutes. So let's talk about it. Before we deep dive into this review, I do want to take a moment to talk about my Crimson Pages. It's basically like a journal, scrapbook. It's kind of remind me of like, Mean Girls had they had a burn book, but I want to do it with a horror twist to it. But I'm basically going to document like horror stuff in it, like comments you guys do, the horror movies, even suspicious things or suspect lists, panic levels, random thoughts I had mid scenes. But you know what? It's also something else. It's also where this community lives, right? And every comment you leave, every theory you drop, every you're wrong for that energy, I'm archiving it, you know? Because I didn't start this Mahogany Kisses just to talk to you. I started because horror is better when it's shared. And yes, I am doing this faceless with just my voice and my opinions. But I'm being very vulnerable right now. So if you're here, whether it's your first time looking at any of my videos or shorts or whatever, or you just been waiting for me to do a post, thank you. Please come more often. But at the end of this review, I'm picking one comment or one theory or wildest suspect list to go into this Crimson page. Hopefully, we want to be one of the first on my list and officially part of the archive. So if you want your name in the volume, talk to me in the comments. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of it too, by the way, cuz I did make it by hand just to show my creativity, you know. But I hope you like it. Put some comments if you think, or any suggestions, or any thoughts. I am an open book, and I like what I like, and I also like opinions. Sometimes it helps me better or tune things, or if you guys like have suggestions about how I can do better with my channel, give it to me. I'm good with criticism. It sucks, but I'm good with it. Anyway, let's get into it. So, watching Scream, I felt like I had to get the merch. Okay. Like, it's iconic. I always been to slasher films, and my fondest memories of a child was going to Scream, like watching it with my parents, because we grew up on horror movies. But anyway, so watching it without merch felt wrong. So I basically as you can see in this video, I have bought a cup and not one, but I got two popcorn holders. I wanted the third one, but it was sold out. Mm. But the cup I got at AMC, and then the one popcorn holder is with him in the door. That's also AMC. They have a popcorn too, but it's like the top part of the head. I wish I got that one, but I was like, I'm being greedy now with popcorn holders. I'm gonna do with all these popcorn holders. But I did get one from Cinemark, and that's the one with the back, like his full body. If that not full body, but half, the top part. But, you know, because if we're surviving a slasher, we're doing it properly, right? There's something about holding a ghost face popcorn, popcorn holder while you're eating popcorn, watching it, makes it feel like elite. Now that we're in the mood, let's get really into it, okay? So let's start off with the first act, the best part, the first act. So to me, that's the strongest part of the entire movie, the first part of it, right? The pace was sharp, um the immediate tension. And it was in like the first 20 minutes, right? The panic level was climbing. Timothy Simmons as George, the drama teacher, was suspicious to me as well. Ace, I hope I'm saying this wrong. I'm not saying it wrong. Asa German is Lucas Bowman. He's also suspicious for me as well. From the jump, I was watching everyone, but that movie had me locked in. I'm trying to make it spoiler free, so I know I'm trying to place everything together. Please forgive me. But yes, also the kills. The kills were solid. There were some creative ones and intense ones, except a couple of them, especially one in particular. The CGI body effect, it looked kind of cheesy. It kind of pulled me out that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've seen that kill before. And if you're going to shock me, make it fresh. But overall, the violence was delivered. But I've seen so many slasher films, gore. I've seen Terrifier so many times. Um, you know, but I mean, you got to give it a good creative kill. I'm really particular about that. But I mean, I feel like I've seen some of the kills before in other movies, not necessarily the Scream films. But to me, personally, I mean, it was a good watch. The first half of the movie, like the first good half, it was good. Now, the second and the final act, that's where it fell flat. I'll be honest. This is where the energy dipped for me. The second act and the final act didn't carry momentum of the beginning. And then the reveal, it felt rushed to me. Not fully connected to the franchise to me, not cohesive enough. It felt unfinished. It felt like it was rushed. And in the Scream movie, the reveal has to be strong. I mean, lately the reveals haven't been as strong anymore, like the first reveal. But I mean, it's a franchise. It's like unfortunately, not every sequel or trilogy is going to be the strongest. It's very rare to have that. But when it's good, it's good. But when it gets murky, it's just ugh. But let's talk about the cast, okay? The cast in this movie are the following. Um, let's see. All right. So we got Matthew Lillard. I can't say his name. It's still. I'm so sorry. Nev Campbell, Sydney Prescott. We have McKenna Grace as Hannah Terman. We have Isabel May as Tatum Evans. We have Mason Gooding as Chad Meeks, Randy's nephew. Dave Arquette. They have Asa German. Lucas Bowman. We have Anna Camp as Jessica Bowman. Of course, you have the Gail Weathers, the icon. Um, they do have Scott Foley. They have Jim Taro. I can't Taturo. Sorry, as Scott. They have Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy, of course, as also Randy's niece, and we have Madison as Michelle Randolph. Then we have Joe McHale as Mark Evans. I'm sorry for the pronounce these wrong names. it's a little late for me. Ethan Embry as Marco, Mark Consuelos as Robbie Rivers, and Sam Richard as Ben. Of course, Ghostface is Al Jackson, the classic voice. Timothy Simmons is George Wilson, and then Celeste O'Connor as Chloe Parker. So those are this is the cast. Okay, so let's get into the character performance and breakdown. Okay, so let's get into Nev Campbell, Sydney Prescott, the final girl energy, protective mom. Don't mess with my family. You know what I mean? She's the nostalgia, right? She's been the final girl for every Scream except the two. But I'm glad they paid her her money, and brought her back. But yes, she felt like a classic Sydney, a fighter, strong, steady. I love the story leaned into her perspective and brought her family into it. It did feel like it's a generational trauma woven into the narrative, though. It kind of worked for me, It kind of put a different spin to her story. Um, Courtney Cox part as Gail Weathers. I didn't like how they handled her. I didn't like how they handled Gail. She and Sydney are like pillars. Um, but here it felt like Gail was just sitting in the passenger seat while Sydney was drove, and Gail just, bel- I mean, she doesn't belong in the passenger seat. She belong. I mean, of course she's gonna be in the passenger seat if her and Gail, I mean, Sydney and her ride or dies, of course. But I'm so used to them being a strong character in the franchise. They work hand together, they running, they shoot, whatever. But she, I want better for her, more justice for her character. Matthew Lillard as Stu, seen him again, iconic. I love that. But his storyline wasn't strong enough. It could have been bigger. But every time I saw him on his screen, I forgot I wasn't supposed to be rooting for him because I was so happy he was back. But that's dangerous charisma right there for you. That's probably why I'm so used to him being in everything. Um, Isabel May as Tatum, she tried, but her character gave like a spoiled teenager energy, and it was annoying to me. Not saying that teenagers are annoying. I'm just saying for some reason her character wasn't doing. I mean, because I think so highly of Sydney's character, I would think her daughter would have a little bit of Sydney in her. But eh. And then and the catchphrase in that movie, it didn't land for me. It felt forced and organic a little bit. You know what I mean? And in slasher films, I feel like iconic lines have to feel accidental. Like it had to feel the moment. It didn't. It didn't feel it for me. I was like, okay. Okay, let's get into the Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown. The Chad and Mindy felt weaker than in Scream and Scream 6. They're the core four. But and then they felt like I feel like they're underused in that movie. Like that surprised me. I thought Mindy would be more. You know how she gets in like her like Randyisms. She getting her groove about it, trying to find out who the suspect is and blah blah. It didn't. I mean, it felt flat for me for real. You know, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess they because they're so well like characters, I feel like they put them in. But I felt like if they brought them in there, I felt like they should have brought in the rest of the core four. But I mean, I get it, the scandal. I get it, but it just it felt empty. You see them too, but you don't see the rest. But I mean, I guess hopefully the scandal will be resolved eventually one day, maybe, hopefully. Okay, let's get into the other characters. They're not well, some of them are new. Yeah, all these are new. So let's get into Celeste O'Connor, Chloe Parker. Um, I ain't gonna lie, she kind of at the end. of the movie. She kind of gave me pick me energy. Not saying she is, but it didn't leave a lasting mark for me. I'm sorry. I mean, her character is sweet. It's just, I was like, it wasn't like giving me something like, oh, remember her. No offense to her. Um, McKenna Grace. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. As Hannah is not very memorable in this installment. I'll be honest. She was like, okay, nice meeting you. um, Anna Camp. Her for the Pitch Perfect. I'm so used to her just singing and stuff. But she gave suburban soccer mom, does yoga, worry about her son constantly. You know, very specific energy, very clear. I mean, she was kind of basic to me in the movie, but she's weird in the movie too. So I don't know. Okay, Sam Richner as Ben Brown. I liked his character for a little bit. I liked his character a bit because it kind of gave me the Billy vibes. It kind of gave me like because it gave me throwbacks of the first Scream. I kind of liked his character a little bit. And at the end, I was like, okay, this is a little different. Let's see where it's going to go. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was very suspicious as well. I think everybody in the movie theater was suspicious because everybody thought it's always the boyfriend, or it is or not. You know, so everybody's watching the boyfriend, especially because he's Tatum's boyfriend. I was watching him. You know, I still was watching him. I watched him then, watching him then, whatever. Mark Consuelos, as Robbie Rivers. He gave me the Val version of Gail Weathers. But all I can see him is Harem Lodge from Riverdale. That's all I can see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was a Riverdale fan. I still am. I mean, if you know, you know. And honestly, I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was cute. Um, I mean, he had a little smart part. Now Joel as Mark Evans, this shocked me. I expect a little humor out of him. He was straight serious the whole movie. I mean, he did give like a dad, he acted like a cop. He gave dad. I mean, his humor wasn't there. I mean, instead we got like full protective mode. He wasn't playing about his family though in this movie. And I found myself rooting for him every time he fought back. He was giving Terminator vibes a little bit. I was like, ah, man, okay, you making sure your family's safe. I get it. Um, oh, and Michelle Randolph, um, and Jimmy Tarrio. Their scenes made me think the movie was about to take off. Though I ain't gonna lie, those moments really kind of work for me. If you start off like that in the beginning of the movie, you know, it says something for me. But let's get into the movie experience. So, so the theater experience was pretty much lit because the audience was yelling, I was yelling. You know, it felt like a shared panic. That's the music. I mean, that's horror magic. If you get the audience engaged and ready to ready to yell at the screen together as a collective community, I think that's a good experience. Now, let's go for the Mahogany Kisses rating system. Now, let's get into that. So, my panic level for this, I'm gonna give it a 5.5. The first act of it really did carry it. The second kind of like trickled down a little bit, and then the final just like, and the reveal. The reveal really was like, it could have been better. Like it really could have been better, but it is what it is. They chose that. I'm gonna go with another score. I'm gonna say the brain score, basically the script, or I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. So the one thing I liked about it was nostalgic hit. You know, That nostalgia hit is what got me sold into it, and I think that's all the fans was. I mean, even though it's a Scream 7 right now, we're in Scream 7. We're there, right? And the nostalgia really hits home to me, and I love like a nice like, oh, this feels familiar, but I don't want the same script. I don't want you to keep writing the same thing over and over again. I mean, everybody knows in a Scream film, it's always going to be a reveal of who the killer is, right? But it's not, I don't feel it's going to be the same, oh, shock value kind of thing. I mean, but I would like it to be more, making more sense, so not random. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Um, I'm gonna say I have another one, emotional damage. That's another ranking of mine. Very minimal. Excitement, yes. Devastation, no. I wasn't beat to the ground about it. I was like, okay, mm, okay, I'll do. But my final thought on all this though, Screen Stuffing did give nostalgic warmth. I'm gonna give you that. Seeing these characters again felt good, but the final act, needed more strength, more connection, more weight. I do think there's gonna be a Scream 8. They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop unless the audience don't come back and see it. I think that because the people actually went to go see it, and I think it's probably gonna be high box office because I feel like everybody went in the merchandise in the movie theaters. I got my stuff and it's gone. I went to go see if I can get the popcorn one with I know it's ridiculous. I know I have a habit. I went to go back to get one with I can lift the top of the head up. It was gone. Nothing there. I was like, man, and they sold out. But I feel like they need if they can bring back the core for all of them and the OGs properly, we might get something powerful though. I feel like, but they also can't be safe too, because I mean, every meetup, you know, they can't be safe to a certain degree. Unfortunately, I mean, I feel like if they do Scream 8, they're gonna probably have to, unfortunately, either get rid of a character to make a major, loss for, you know, to make it real powerful. Unfortunately, I hate that, but it may have to happen. That's what all movies do. They do that to you, right? But you know, so before we close this this review up, remember, starting now. One of your comments going in the Crimson Pages. Like I said, I'm starting it new. It'll be officially archived. Um, you know. So tell me, what is your panic level? Did when you see this movie, let me know if the reveal worked for you. And who were you suspicious of first? And because this is just my horror journal, it's ours. We're a community, we're family now. And once it's written in the crimson, it stays there. So y'all have a good day. Stay blessed, be respectful, love each other. Um, so this is Mahogany Kisses, and y'all have a good day.